Hey, welcome. Today, we're jumping into a topic that so many people think they understand, but maybe not as well as they think. We're talking about management. And right off the bat, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about having a fancy title or a corner office. Nope. Management is a skill. It's the art of taking a bunch of individual efforts and turning them into one big success. So how do you actually do that? Well, it all starts with one single powerful idea.
This sentence right here, this is everything. Seriously, if you'll only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. This is the idea that separates someone who's great at their job from someone who's great at leading. It's a total flip. Your value isn't just about what you can do anymore. It's about what you can get other people to do.
And this is probably the single biggest hurdle for new managers. The second you get that role, the spotlight just moves. All the things that got you the promotion, being the best coder, the fastest writer, the absolute top salesperson, those aren't your primary tools anymore. You have to totally rewire your brain.
Exactly. Your main job is no longer to be in the weeds doing the work yourself. It's to be the coach. You've gone from being the star player who scores all the goals to being the one who designs the plays that let the whole team score. Your personal to-do list becomes way less important than the team's collective achievement. So this leads to a really important question. When it's time for your performance review, what's the one thing that truly defines whether you're succeeding or failing as a manager? Is it your deep technical knowledge? Is it the long hours you put in? Is it how much everyone likes you? The real answer is actually a lot simpler than all that. That's it. Your success is just a mirror reflecting your team's success. You're not judged on how well you could do the task. You're judged on the results you got through your people. Plain and simple. If they succeed, you succeed. If they stumble, well, you stumble too. Okay, so if your whole job is getting things done through other people, you better get pretty good at understanding, well, people. This is where we have to put on our psychologist hats for a minute. You have to figure out what actually makes people tick, what motivates them. And thankfully, some brilliant people have already thought a lot about this. So let's look at two classic, totally opposite ways of seeing the world from a guy named Douglas McGregor. On one side, you have theory X. This is the old school, my way or the highway boss who basically assumes people are lazy and you have to watch them like a hawk. It's all about command and control. Then you have theory Y. This manager believes people actually like to work, that they want responsibility, and that they'll do amazing things if you just trust and support them. Think of it as the coach versus the warden. But wait, it's not just a two-party system. There's also Theory Z, which you might know as participative management. This was made famous by a lot of Japanese companies. The whole idea here is to get incredible loyalty and quality by bringing employees into the decision-making process. It's all about creating a sense of shared purpose and trust so everyone feels like they have a real stake in the game. All right, so we've got the mindset. It's not about you. And we've got the psychology, understanding what drives people. So now, let's get down to the brass tacks. What do managers actually do day to day? Well, there's a practical playbook, a core set of tools that every manager uses to turn all these ideas into reality. And that playbook is really built around these 5 fundamental jobs: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. You can almost think of them as a loop, a continuous cycle that you're always running for any project or for your team as a whole. Let's break that down real quick. Planning is deciding where you're going. Organizing is drawing the map to get there. Staffing is making sure you've got the right people in the car with you. Directing is the actual, day-to-day driving and motivating everyone. And finally, controlling is checking the GPS, making sure you're on track, and correcting your course when you're not. See how they all flow together? Okay, so what's with this number? 8. Well, it turns out it's kind of a magic number in management. There's this idea called the span of management, and a ton of research suggests that one person can only really, truly, effectively manage about 8 people. Any more than that, and you just can't give everyone the focus and support they need. It's the whole reason big companies have teams and departments and divisions. It's just how our brains are wired. So theory is great, playbooks are useful, but let's throw a real wrench into the works. What happens when everything goes completely sideways? Let's talk about how all of this applies in a high-stakes, high-pressure crisis situation. So think about it. The servers are down, the product launch is failing, the whole building is metaphorically on fire. Who do you want in charge? Do you want the collaborative, let's all brainstorm, theory Y coach? Or do you need something totally different? And the answer might actually surprise you. In a true crisis, the most effective style is often the Theory X top-down autocratic one. Why? Because when every second counts, you don't have time for a group hug or a democratic vote. You need one person with a clear plan, giving clear, direct orders. It's about saving the ship, not making sure everyone feels heard in that moment. And that is probably the biggest lesson of all. There's no single best way to manage. The truly great leaders are adaptable. They have a whole toolbox of approaches, from the encouraging coach to the decisive commander, and they know instinctively which tool to pull out for which situation. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Take a second and be really honest with yourself. What's your natural default setting? Are you more of a theory X or a theory Y person? And then, here's the real question. Is that what your team, in your situation, actually needs from you right now? Finding the answer to that, well, that's the real art of management.